Energetic emotional freedom. What does this actually mean? Looking at you as an individual, you have a mind, a body, a soul, a spirit. What goes into making up your body is emotions, energy, hormones, organs. You have your lymphatic system, molecular structure, vibrational output, frequency that you're operating on. There's electrodes and magnetization. There's a whole host of things going on. You have your hemoglobin, your blood, your sugar levels, your glucose. There's all kinds of complex pathways through the body, through all your physical organs that make you uniquely you. These are all governed by your mind and your energetic processes. Now, energy is made up inside the body and generated inside the body and with outside the body. We can consciously choose to eat highly energetic foods. So, brightly coloured fruits and vegetables is one of those things. We can choose to set intentions pretty much for everything we do, but for a moment I'd like to focus on food, water and drinks that you consume within your body. Setting an intention with food. Now, if in the past I have gone to cook a meal and I've been less than happy and balanced, the food, even if I do it on 2 identical days, one day I'm really happy and the other day I'm less than, and I write out step by step and measure each quantity exactly the same, on the day when I was annoyed or less than happy or something was playing on my mind and I wasn't fully present in the moment, that food is not coming out the same way and with the magic that it does on the day when I've created it, when I've been fully focused in the moment, fully happy and putting all my intentions into the food, that the people who are going to eat the food will be nourished, loved, they will be receiving a gift, it will be completely healing to them, it will be nutritional rich, it will be enhancing to their overall being. First of all, they will see the food, they will smell the food, and their senses will be aroused. Next comes the tasting, and more senses are aroused. Then as the body takes it in and processes it, their internal organs are aroused, stimulated, activated, and a chain reaction happens where the food goes through the body and it enhances various areas. The mind and soul and spirit has been uplifted because it's been a good experience. Now, on the days when I'm not feeling 100% relaxed, and I've tried to do that, like I said, even if I follow the steps exactly the same quantities, everything, and I've created exactly the same dish, it never comes out the same. And the people who've sat at my table and eaten the food have not felt the same either. Even if they didn't know what was going on for me internally with my mind, and if I had an upset or something like that, they didn't know. They felt it when they ate the food, when they consumed the food. So setting intentions is really, really important. There's various studies online. I'm not going to repeat them here, but you can look up setting intentions to water, for example, on YouTube. There's several videos. I might put a link in the comments, a link in the description, because my very good friend and someone who I work quite closely with, Elliott Harlin-Bethall, puts this out quite a lot. If you set your intention to water, like you actually label the water, with nourishing, loving, very sincere, kind words that you would expect to have yourself hold in your heart when you're in love. If you set this intention into a bottle of water and you're consuming this water, your cells are going to be behaving in a different way than if you grab the water and just thought, oh God, I need to drink water now. And you drank the water. Obviously, you're annoyed. You know, you're challenging whether you should have the water, but your conscience is telling you that you must have it, so you're resentful while you're drinking it. It will have very little effect. It will hydrate you, sure. But in order for cell renewal to take place in your overall well-being and your holistic health, you need to set intentions. When people say grace at the table, old-fashioned times, they would say, I'm incredibly thankful for the food, give thanks for the food that they're about to receive. And they welcome the food into the body. This is outdated as a practice now. But really, and you don't have to say grace, but in your mind you can be giving thanks for what you are about to receive. Every food item is a gift. We're currently living in a crisis time where food was, and to a certain extent still is, at a shortage. There's been various items that have been very hard to source and find. And for someone like me, I'm a nutritional fusion chef. I cook for holistic health purposes and create dishes. For me, it's been extremely difficult every day to conjure up things with what I could source and what I could get delivered, or what somebody would leave outside my house. So these are all gifts. The whole process has been a gift. So when I'm preparing the food, when I'm putting it into the saucepans on the cooker or in the oven or cooking it, my intentions are pure and loving and good. So I'm setting the intention in the food while it's being created. The energy from the food comes from the growing process, whether it's enriched with chemicals, how, even right down to whether the farmers or the agriculturists were in temper moods when they were manufacturing the food, picking the food, passing the food on, passing it through the manufacturing process. It's all key. I try and buy local as often as I possibly can. In the current climate at the moment, that's quite difficult. Organic and locally sourced is really the way to go, because then it hasn't had a very long travel before it gets to you, and the energy is higher. So setting the intention into food, drinks, water especially, is key. So we have energetic foods, setting the intention into what we consume, buying fresh, organic, local, as far as conceivably possible at the moment. Now we move on to the mind. What are you feeding your mind? For those of you who are consuming television, I work very closely with Ryan Martin, who's a holistic health coach, and he's absolutely brilliant. One of his best lines, in my opinion, is when he talks about television, and he talks about it as tell-a-vision. Tell-a-vision. And then he will say something like, well, it's not my vision. Well, it's not my vision either. You're being spoon-fed a particular narrative that really doesn't belong in here. It's great to watch films. I love watching films. I'm a long-term, lifelong film person. I love watching films in my free time and unwinding with a really good film. But watching television with the advertising, the general narrative, it can really bring us down. The news, the constant feeding of a certain level of fear, the constant feeding of your needs that are an illusion. You don't need any of those things. So it's what we're putting into our mind is key. Similarly, if you're spending time with people who are frequently moaning, frequently driving along on the fear bus, frequently getting down and getting upset about things, then it lowers your state of being, it lowers your mindset. And then it's very difficult to keep your frequency, your vibrational output and your energy operating at quite a nice, decent level. Now, there's a tremendous amount of understanding about frequency and how it affects the body. There's various modalities like sound healing, chakra work, Reiki, yoga, tantra, qigong, mixed martial arts, energy work. These are all modalities of energy work. Now there's a lot of teachings around these as well. I'm going to put a link to something in the description for you that has helped me tremendously in the past. Keeping our energy levels operating at quite a high frequency, it means that fatigue, exhaustion, negative pathways running through the body are limited. And when you keep on doing this and it becomes part of you, they're completely eradicated, they're completely gone. It's like it's not part of my picture anymore. In fact, my tolerance levels for people in my personal space that are moaning, consuming, negative, and generally trying to feed off my energy, my tolerance levels for that sort of thing are 0. And I don't mean this in a harsh, way, and I genuinely, hand on heart, do not mean this to be upsetting to anyone who's been in my personal space. But that's the reality. It can come across as quite cold, I'm sure. But in order to save myself and cure myself from illness, this is what I've had to do. I've had to be ruthless. And in that process of being ruthless with my personal space, my personal state of well-being, I've healed, and I'm no longer illness. I no longer have an illness. I no longer have any disease. So my body, internally, externally, what is within is without. My body is quite clean and pure, and I am doing everything I can to keep it that way. So if that means hurting someone's feelings because they're around me and they've been draining me, then hurt feelings are a perception for them. When you really care about yourself and you're in love with your internal workings, your mind, body, soul, spirit, and everything is all lining up, you don't want anything to jeopardize that. You genuinely don't. I genuinely don't. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. I'm here to love and give. And that is actually what I do. Excuse me. But I give those things to myself first. And yes, I've had to be ruthless. Yes, I've had to cut people off. Yes, I've had to walk away from everything that doesn't serve that purpose, because I have 0 intention of ever having to cope with an illness, disease, terminal or otherwise, again in my future. That's the bottom line. So emotional freedom, energetic emotional freedom, these things are something that I am as a way of life. It is my life. Therefore, I'm in a very strong position to inspire you to start looking at the various areas of your life. Do you have a dream? Do you have goals for the future? Are you able to see yourself a year from now? What are you doing? One of the big things that I've been inspiring people to do in April 2020 is write to yourself from your future self. Do something today that your future self is going to completely thank you for a year from now. Write it down. Get it out of here and put it down in black and white on paper. Don't type. Have a connection. Energy flow. Your brain will send out signals through your neuron pathways. Will operate a pen. The pen will have an ink, maybe ink or rollerball or a pencil or some sort of something that's going to appear on a page. It's going to leave an imprint on a page of paper, in a book, a journal, just a scrap of paper, the back of an envelope, the back of a bill that you've had sitting there. So write it down. As your future self, write it down. Get it out of you. Today is, I don't know, April the 1st, 2021. I'm so thankful you made that decision. Because today, I've achieved this and I feel fantastic. Thank you so much for keeping the dream alive and allowing me to have this experience. See, when you break it down like that, it's not difficult. It's not difficult to imagine. And hold on to it and focus your energy in the now, in the present moment, so that you can achieve in the future and you can be holistically healthy, especially in your mind. When looking for somebody to guide you through these personal development tool set manuals, if you will, please be mindful and look for somebody that you resonate with, that speaks your language. But key, and this is extremely important, key to success is going with someone who is at a position where you would like to be. So I'm Helen Rose Carlier-Jacobs. I'm the self-love architect, which is another way of saying transformational mentor in the personal development world. I have a 30-year career behind me in behavioural science, professional qualifications right across the board. I've inspired thousands of people across the globe to be themselves. I've allowed them to have access to their own blueprints, and I've given them tools of self-empowerment so they can build blocks for themselves that will enable them to construct a future that they truly want and desire, rather than life just happening to them and being stuck in old, previous subconscious learned behaviour patterns. They've been released and they're experiencing emotional freedom and a high level of self-love like I give myself. How many of you have ever been in love? You go to any lengths to achieve it, right? There's a spark there, an instant glimmer of light. You feel like you've got a 200 gigawatt light bulb above your head at all times. You're smiling to the extent that your face hurts. Now, all those things that you think of doing to impress the person that you're interested in and the person that you've fallen in love with, you need to start applying those tools to you. You need to start being fully in love with what you have. It's okay to be you. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are a unique, beautiful being. You were created to be unique and to stand out and to stand up. You weren't created to pale into insignificance and just simply be led. That's not your default setting. Your default setting as a human being is love, health. You are holistically healthy. You have everything you could possibly need within to create your own universe. You're strong. You 100% have the strength to do anything you put your mind to. Going back to what you consume, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between something you are consuming and something your mind is consuming. So take fantasies, for example. You could fantasize that you're sitting on a roller coaster. You could feel exhilarated as you visualize yourself being thrust along at great velocity, high speeds. Then it goes backwards, then it goes up, and it goes down, and it goes round. And it's exhilarating, right? If you sat there and you really focused your mind, you could get some sort of sensation in your body as if you were there. It wouldn't be the speed, obviously. It wouldn't be, I don't know. Some of you might be fantastic at visualizing and you may feel the speed as well. The point is, if you really focus your mind, you can do anything. You can be anything. But it all starts with self-love. You have to give yourself that in-love sensation with your food, your sleep patterns, your holistic health, what you're feeding your mind, your subconscious, your inner dialogue, what you're telling yourself, repeatedly telling yourself, is vital to this process. I am beautiful. I can do anything. I have a dream. I have achieved it. And just start there. Start there. It is easy. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. You have a feeling. You then have a thought that you have assigned to that feeling. And then you must take an action. 1, 2, 3. Feeling, thinking, and then doing. There is no magic pill. There's no shortcut. It has taken me years and a considerable amount of money invested in personal development tools, holistic health, you name it. I have, it's an investment. I've invested in my state of being that I have now. At some point in my past, I made a decision. I woke up one day and I just didn't want to live like that anymore. Anxious, depressed, suicidal, very dark, addicted to various things I shouldn't have been addicted to. I was harming myself. Most of my actions, sexual behaviour even, was harmful to me. And one day I woke up and I just don't want to live like that anymore. So I just didn't. I just stopped. I stopped everything. The hard part for me was overcoming, allowing people into my personal space, whether that's through a screen, through a phone, through the internet, or actually physically with me. The hardest part and the biggest challenge for me personally was cutting that right back so that I could be free to think for myself and not be influenced, and really feel for myself and feel my way through without any influence, and it's particularly without any negative or draining influence. Now, I'm very fortunate now and completely blessed because I surround myself with people who make me feel, by their presence, I feel like I want to do more. I want to be more. I want to be more energized. I want, and I really am striving to be higher and higher all the time. And the people who are with me get that from me. We enhance each other. We do not pick up the phone and moan. We do not pick up the phone and talk about something for an hour that has made us feel like absolute crap that day. Instead, we share the experience and we bring in all the good stuff. Energetic, high vibrational, feel good stuff. We share that. And I think that that's key to survival, really, with energy work. It's you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. And for those of you who choose me as one of your people, I'm deeply touched and I'm deeply thankful. But until you raise your own level of vibrations, it's not happening. And I don't mean that to be harsh. I don't mean that to sound cold. I value my holistic health. I value my sanity and my mind and my energy output and my high frequency output even more. My holistic health and my general state of being means absolutely everything to me, and I will not compromise it. I've been guilty from time to time of doing just that, which is how I can sit here and say now, no more. I won't be doing that ever again, because it just makes me feel, it has made me feel tired. And for what? So I can make you feel good? I give out love all the time. I am love. I'm a very extremely loving being to all who come into contact with me. No question, I'm a giver. But I'm not a vessel to be drained. So personal development, holistic health, to experience a high level of energetic emotional freedom, you need to do the work. You need to invest in yourself. No one can do that for you. I can't do your journey for you. It takes serious commitment. It takes serious commitment to yourself. It takes the need to want to stop self-sabotaging and stop putting things into you that clearly are damaging for you. Emotional intelligence is where you reach a level that you know something's bad for you and you stop doing it. And you replace it with all things good, that are good for you, that are enhancing for you. It is my wish that this video is one of those things. That from watching my ramblings today, my output today, the energy that from myself, from within, that I'm sharing without towards you here in this moment, it's my wish that your takeaway from this is you do actually look at various areas of your life. Who is your biggest influence? Who are the 5 people you're sharing the most time with? Are you enhancing them? Is your presence enhancing to them? Is their presence enhancing to you? What foods are you consuming? Where is your water coming from? Where is your food coming from? Do you feel energized when you're consuming? How much time are you spending utilizing, watching TV shows? How much time are you getting spoon-fed with advertisements? Do you read the newspapers? Are you being influenced? Why are you being influenced? Who is influencing you? Now, hand on heart, I am my own best friend. Various people in this week have described to me their ideal picture of how life should be for them. I'm actually already living it. I'm in love with every area of my life. I watch the sunrise every morning. I'm fully present in the moment when the sun sets every evening. I give my body absolutely 100% everything it needs. I consume things that are vital for me to consume. If they're not vital, I don't consume them. It really is that simple. My personal interactions with people, beautiful, beautiful experiences. So I'm consuming, I'm nourishing, I'm in love with my life. Can you say the same? I haven't changed a thing since being at home. The only thing that's changed is I can't go and speak on stage, and I can't go and make public appearances or touch people in person. Those are the only things that have changed. Everything else is still the same, because I was already doing this a long time ago. I started this journey a long time ago when I was in a very, very dark place. No one can do the work for you, only you can do the work. Inner dialogue is key. You need to be programming into your subconscious mind. You can and are doing the work. And then just take actions. Feel your way through. Assign a thought to the feeling. And then take an action. Truthfully, emotional energetic freedom, or energetic emotional freedom, truly is that simple. It's a beautiful day today. Have a wonderful weekend. I may not be online as much today and tomorrow because my family and I are doing experiences together this weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Tell the people in your world that you love them. Tell yourself you love you even more. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to share this video. I am thankful for your support.